Okay, we're now streaming for the first time ever with no mistakes.
No mistakes have been made by us ever.
Send us fucking stories to read.
Did we fix it? Does it sound fixed?
Certainly sounds fixed.
Good thing we went to the vet.
Okay. Send us stories via Twitter at deadpallet, dead_pallet? Yeah, dead_pallet.
Couldn't they just put it in the live chat?
Yes, but I don't know if sometimes it censors shit for no reason, so...
That's dumb.
Yeah. Well, welcome to YouTube.
I could work in IT.
You can work in IT, sure. For the record, it was straight up XSplit's fault for having the most inane design in existence.
Yeah.
We will read whatever it is you send us on the Twitters. Send it in a private message, send it publicly, we don't care. Also, hello to everyone in the stream. Username, Rudger Williams, Hammer Bay, Steven. Anyone else who doesn't feel like talking? Listen to all of that dead silence as no one sends us a goddamn story to read. Hello, Generific.
Send us anything. Send us your erotic friend fiction.
Hello, Frosted Many Fears, or Chad, or whoever it is that's talking via the Frosted Many Fears channel. Someone send them Good Night Moon. No thank you.
I guess we could just start reading clickhole articles until someone sends us something.
We could do that. I'm going to go on the limb and say let's not do that. I mean, I know that I said, oh, Operation Stingray. This is a thing I'm supposed to be Googling. Okay.
I thought you were just saying that because you liked that word.
Yeah. Okay. We'll read Operation Stingray. Operation Stingray is in effect. Let me see if I can post this in chat. That way other people can
read along to story time.
That's the wrong chat. That is the wrong chat. It should be, but sometimes it marks it as spam. I have no idea why. Should be in the chat now. Operation Stingray is in effect. I have to make this quick. I don't have much time. None of us do. I'm going to be leaving soon. Some details and changing others. I have no way of knowing which of you reading this is already working for them. In fact, you don't know if you are either. Christ, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me start from the beginning. That's a good place to start. I'd known Brian since college. We lived in the same floor freshman year and had some intense Call of Duty battles. Oh, Christ. While everyone else was out improving their social skills. He was an asshole, but he was my kind of asshole, and I took a liking to him. That's pretty relatable so far.
Yeah.
The concept of someone being an asshole, but they're still your friend. The Call of Duty battles thing made me laugh, but I guess he's supposed to have poor social skills. I'm gonna move this over there. No one knows what I'm talking about, but I did it. He was a computer science major and was in the music school. To this day, I don't know a damn thing about computers, but I would get a kick out of listening to him talk about that stuff. He did a lot of black hat hacking and would constantly make vague references to bizarre documents and schematics he would pull off the government computers. To me, they sounded ridiculous. Bioengineered doomsday viruses, underwater experimentation labs, laser cannons in space. I was convinced he was making it all up. I don't know, Stream, how do we feel about this so far? I can't really find anything too ridiculous to pick apart about this story thus far.
The only thing I have is that I read Call of Duty as Clarissa of Duty initially. I was kind of dying.
She's going to explain it all. Here to break open Operation Stingray. Dead said my name, now I'm flipping out. Man, is there like a long-ass delay or something? Or is it just for some people? Anyway, after graduation, we both stayed in the city. We weren't able to see each other much due to our respective work commitments. We'd get together every few months or so, and he'd have some new piece of government conspiracy meat for us to chew on. We got some drinks over the summer, and he told me he was looking into something major called Operation Stingray. Oh, serious security, even around the most innocuous references to it. A very, very big deal, he assured me. I nodded and challenged him to some drunken Team Fortress. Not Team Fortress 2.
The first
Team Fortress, which is a very different game. They were playing Team Fortress because they're Call of Duty fans, and that's much more like Call of Duty than... We were playing Team Fortress because Overwatch hadn't come out yet and literally killed Team Fortress 2.
And we also couldn't afford Splatoon.
Man, let me tell you, one time I went out and bought a Wii so I could play Splatoon.
And it was beautiful.
I don't regret it because I literally bought it for just Splatoon. Oh, lovely. Dropping shit.
Throwing things on the ground.
I'm glad I decided to call this Death Palace Jack-Off Corner, because if I was like being super serious, I would be pretty angry about the fact that I fucked up this stream.
But since it's the Jack-Off Corner,
who cares?
Nothing matters.
How much did I miss? Not much.
You missed everything.
You can catch up on the story. We're only like a few paragraphs in. But I challenged him to some drunken Team Fortress 2. Can't tonight, man, he said. But when I blow the lid off this thing, I'm going pyro on your ass like the old days.
Sure thing, Brian, I said. Let me know how that works out for you. That's the last I heard from him for months.
That's some forced-stilled dialogue right there.
Yep.
I'm totally going to beat you up PvP 1v1.
Fight me, bro.
Then, out of the blue one night, he texted me. Brian, I need to talk. Meet me at local restaurant tomorrow at noon. Don't mention this to anybody.
Me? Sure, man. Everything okay?
Brian, I don't know. Just please don't be late. I chuckled, always so dramatic. Lindsay rolled over in the bed. What's up, hun? She said. Oh, no, you don't have a girlfriend. Shut the fuck up. You don't have a girlfriend.
She's imaginary. That's Operation Stingray.
Yes. This whole thing. I got something to tell you.
Your girlfriend is imaginary.
Lindsay's not real. It's all part of Operation Stingray. Nothing, babe. Just Brian being Brian again. Let's go back to sleep. I'm giving everyone a southern accent. Has a southern accent for some reason. I got to the restaurant a few minutes early to snag a table before the lunch rush. Across the street, there was a small protest going on outside of one of the big downtown banks. Money for schools, not for bonuses, they chanted. Oh, I did that wrong. Money for schools, not for bonuses. Money for schools, not for bonuses. That is not the best chant.
No, they're not chanters.
They need
Linda Belcher.
They need Linda Belcher to help them out. Brian staggered in. Weak old scruff, pale and puffy skin, bloodshot eyes, Sweat. I'd seen him like that a few times in college, but Christ, we were supposed to be adults now. He clutched a crumbled manila envelope with both hands. So that's pretty relatable of, you graduate college and you're kind of like, you have these moments where you're kind of like leaving behind old friends of like, we're supposed to be adults now, man.
Yeah, we're not supposed to get drunk and climb trees.
We're not supposed to get drunk and climb trees. We're not supposed to...
And then cry instead of come down.
Yeah, we've been kicked out of a bar because one of our friends got too drunk. Remember that time that we got kicked out of that one barcade because our friend got too drunk?
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
What this dead pallet jack off corner.
Yeah, we're jacking off over here.
Mutually. Join in. Night Prowler. This. Apogene?
Agape? I'm just gonna go with agape.
Apegacine. Operation Stingray was a secret machine made to make people's waifus real. Is that a bad thing? That weaponized waifus?
Weaponized waifus.
Brian's trying. Okay, he clutched a crumpled manila envelope in both hands. Morning, beautiful, I said in a southern accent for some reason again.
Thanks for coming, man. I didn't know who else to call. I'm sorry.
Dude, relax. Sit down. He glanced around the restaurant and took his seat. He didn't let go of the manila of the envelope.
Were you followed? He said.
Listen to you. Were you followed? Are you serious? Look, we can pretend to be spies, but only so long as you don't actually creep me out. He reached into the envelope and pulled out a small white pill. He held it out to me.
It's the waifu pill.
What the hell is this? I said.
Just take it.
It'll erase your waifu. Dude, I'm not going to get fucked up with you in a crowded restaurant in the middle of the day.
It's not, it's just a vitamin. Take it.
Since when did you become such a health nut? Again, it's kind of like canned dialogue. I don't know. It doesn't feel like natural dialogue, and natural dialogue is really important to me. Unless you're doing something with it where it's supposed to be still on purpose, but I highly doubt that's what this is going for.
Just fucking take it, man, please. His eyes were wild and desperate, and they evaporated any trace of a smile from my face.
Okay, chill. I took the chill pill and swallowed it. Happy? He visibly relaxed and reached into the envelope again. He removed a stack of papers and placed them on the table. I'll try and go over what I can. I don't know how much time we'll have, but everything you need to know is right in here. I'm assuming that the pills make your frog straight.
Make your frog straight?
Yeah, because the tap water's turning the frogs gay, and it's the government's fault, and we need to take the pills to make the frogs not gay.
I thought it was the pills being peed into the water by the government that was turning the frogs gay.
The government peeing pills. Oh, this is getting dangerously close to reverse sounding, Chelsea. Hello, Hero Alto. Alato. Super male virility.
Where were we?
Where were we? Oh, okay. He visibly reached out the envelope. He removed a stack of papers, placed them on the table. I'll go over what I can, but I don't know how much time we have. But here's everything you need to know right now. Seriously, Brian, tell me what the hell you just made me swallow. You want to read this part?
Sure. It started about a year ago, he said. I was cracking some DoD contractors for shit and giggles.
I was playing some D&D. Anyway.
And I kept seeing the word stingray being mentioned. Cryptic shit, like top secret Mims. I was starting to say menu. Top secret menus. Alright, anyway. Top secret memos that just said stingray is a go. Stuff like that. I was curious, so I poked around for leads. There wasn't a lot to go on, but there were a few breadcrumbs that led to a facility out in the desert in bumfuck Utica.
Utica.
Utah.
Oh my god. Oh god. We're weaponizing Mormons, aren't we?
I think we are.
It's one of two things. If it's Utah, then we're weaponizing Mormons. If it's Utica, as you said, then we're weaponizing rednecks. We're weaponizing incest.
We're weaponizing redneck incest ice cream. Because that's all that there is in Utica.
Is incest and ice cream.
Let's see here. DRS 117, they called it. Tiny place. A staff of a couple dozen with bullshit names like Jane Smith, John White, etc., etc. Everything about this place was classified, and I mean everything. The fucking cafeteria budget was redacted.
We don't want them to know how much we're spending on bagels.
We're spending way too much on bagel. It's $3 per bagel.
I'd imagine that, man, they have like a Five Guys in there, and they're just like, they have Five Guy hankerings.
No, it's like with the Pentagon and the Taco Bell inside of the Pentagon.
I love shit like that. It's amazing. Just for reference, everybody, if someone says, hey, we're not actually critiquing this story,
this is the jack-off corner.
We just want you to know, if there's any real criticism in here, it's by accident. Riveting. You've outdone yourself this time, man. You want to read?
Yeah. Shut up and listen, he said. This place was a black hole. No info came out of there at all, save for a few emails sent to DoD heads that said project is proceeding on schedule. I poked around for a while, and eventually I pulled the name of an applicant they were interested in working at DRS 117. Some big shot neuroscientist out of Stanford. A few days after I saw his name mentioned, there was a news report that said he had died in a car accident in the Redwoods. A few days after that, a memo made the round saying that the new 117 project member is proving to be a valuable resource to Stingray development.
Okay, so...
They were planning on killing Steve Irwin.
Yes. Guys, I don't know how to tell you this, but the pool's closed. Why is the pool closed, Brian? Pool's closed due to stingrays. Too many stingrays in the pool.
And AIDS.
And AIDS-infested stingrays. So far, this story kind of left a bad impression at the beginning with its stilted dialogue, but now that it's actually kind of getting into the crux of the conspiracy itself, I'm not so negative about it. It feels like it is going a direction. Maybe writing dialogue just isn't this person's thing.
Maybe they read too much Shakespeare.
Yeah, but you listen to, obviously, I love Metal Gear Solid, and they have a bunch of parts in Metal Gear Solid about where the dialogue is all like in military lingo and everything sounds cool. And now that they're getting into the conspiracy shit, Brian is speaking like one of those characters, and I'm much more into it. It's kind of...
Gotcha.
Yeah. A smiling waiter walked by. Oh my God. A smiling waiter walked up to the table. Are you gentlemen ready to order?
I think we'll need a few minutes, I said.
Oh God, now we're switching parts. I think we'll need a few minutes, I said. Not a problem. Take your time, hon. The waiter lingered for a second, his mouth smiling. Oh, that was sexist of me. I assumed the waiter was...
I assumed it was a lady, too.
Which doesn't make any sense because it said waiter and not waitress. But anyway, his eyes seemed to be studying us. He left, and Brian continued.
The Stanford guy was a big name in his field. He specialized in developing systems that could link the human brain with computer interfaces. His early work eventually led to the development of some new next-gen prosthetics.
He leaned in, and his voice dropped to a lower whisper. Here's the kicker. It's your parts. I don't know why I was reading.
I don't know why either. Here's the kicker. At the time of his death, he was working on a method for wirelessly transmitting electrical signals to the brain to stimulate neural impulses. Massively complex stuff, but the gist is that his system could project images, sounds, and sensations directly into the brain from a computer.
This is literally soliton radar in the codex. Snake, it vibrates the small parts of your ear.
Not just that, but depending on what part of the brain you targeted, it could create emotions, rather, memories, even thoughts themselves out of thin air. His colleagues thought he lost his shit, but he maintained that the system would someday revolutionize mental health treatment. He thought he'd be able to diagnose specific malfunctions in an individual's thinking and fix them with a laptop. Of course, after the accident, no one was able to locate any of his research. His hard drives had been erased, and his notes were missing from the lab.
Little bit of a leap, but I can see where they're going with this, because...
I don't know.
Jumping from point A to point B it could project sounds and images to creating emotions. That's a bit of a jump, but it does follow, if that makes any sense. It does follow that if you wanted to do that, that's how you would do that.
Right. And it's a jump that's been done before in science fiction.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I know for a fact that it has, but I'm not well versed in science fiction in any way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And science fiction snubs have a lot of so much information that I don't know about science fiction. Anyway, I rubbed my eyes. I wasn't nearly drunk enough to be listening to this shit, and I started to get a headache. Not to sound uninterested, I said, but let's go ahead and order already. I'm not feeling so hot right now.
Try to focus, he said. I knew I needed to get more info, so I looked for a weak link in the communication chain. I found the information choke point, the one guy who was in direct liaison between 117 and the Defense Department. Everything went through him. Over a few months, I got into every piece of computerized electronics this guy touched, and I waited. This guy was careful, very careful. I never saw any of his porn for a while. It took a while, but eventually he slipped. He left an unencrypted video file on his laptop without password protection one night, and I snatched that up. When I watched it, here, see for yourself.
Wait a second.
What?
Wait a second. We need a
He didn't actually say something about porn.
No, we need to backtrack. Yes, I know. We need to backtrack a little bit. Because create emotions, memories, and even thoughts themselves. This is Project Waifu.
Is this Project Waifu?
We are creating the waifus.
Ron Paul will make anime real.
Project Ron Paul 2012.
2020, I guess.
That's what I wrote in on the ballot. This election is
Ron Paul 2012.
Ron Paul 20. Who are you voting for this time? All right, right in. Ron Paul 2012. That's who I'm voting for.
I mean, how many people voted for Harambe?
I don't know. But did you see the there's that old video I love of a guy getting arrested. It's not on Cops, but it's on a show that's basically Cops knockoff.
Yeah.
And it's this drunk guy, and he's just like, "Oh, you gotta weaponize. You gotta know your First Amendment." And he's like all drunk, and he's being pulled over for drinking and driving. And then he's like, "You gotta know what the First Amendment is. Do you know the First Amendment?" And the police officer's like, "I need you to calm down." And he's like, "You don't even know." And like, he's super drunk, and as they're like ducking his head down to put him into the police cruiser, he's like, "Ron Paul 2012. Whoop!" And he just like falls into the car.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And the police officer's trying so hard to contain himself. Oh, bless you, Ron Paul. Bless you for trying to make anime real, at least. All right, where the fuck were we? Well, see for yourself. He tapped on his phone and handed it to me. The screen showed a large white room with a chimpanzee sitting in the middle, eating a bowl of fruit. Okay.
This is a weird way to start off porn.
Off to the side, a man stood at a computer console. He was facing the camera. Stingray experiment test subject 117-011. Simple motor functions, he said. He tapped on the keyboard, and the chimp started eating.
Stopped
eating. Oh my god. Oh man, if this was like dead serious, I would leave that in and not even notice that I did that. Stopped eating. Stopped moving at all, actually. It sat there completely motionless, like a doll. Right arm, the man said as he tapped the command on the key. The command.
Tapped a command on the keyboard.
Tapped a command on the keyboard. The chimp raised its right arm. Stand, the man said. The chimp stood up. Take 7 steps to your left. The chimp did so. The chimp is literally a goddamn stand for the scientist.
Yeah.
It's a JoJo stand.
It's a JoJo stand.
Yes, we are trying to weaponize those thoughts. Alright. The video cuts out and started up again. Apparently a later date. The same setup as before. Experiment test number 117-011, the man said. Emotional regulation. He tapped the keyboard and said, anger. And the chimp immediately flung the fruit across the room and launched into an awful screaming rage. It rushed at the man and raised its arm to strike him. Sadness, the man said. The chimp collapsed onto the floor and moaned. It curled into a ball and began furiously masturbating, pressing its face into its knees, sucking its own dick. Fear, the man said. The chimp recoiled in horror as he came on its own face. The chimp screeched and scrambled into the corner of the room, wide-eyed and shaking. All right. Again, the video cut out. When it restarted, the man stared at the camera without speaking for a long silence. Experimental test subject number 117-011 said at the start. Self-preservation.
He said it last. Self-preservation override.
The man tapped away on his keyboard and then paused for a moment, looking at the chimp. Rutger Williams saying, it's normal porn for normal people. It really is. It's kind of taking on those qualities. His finger hovered over the key. He sighed and pressed it. The chimp went motionless for a second and then raised its hands to its face. The chimp sat there quietly and tore out its own eyes. Wow. So, trying to figure out, so this is kind of similar to normal porn and normal people in a few ways, because it is a chimp being asked to do more morally questionable things. My Night Prowler. My wife said she wishes that you would read children's stories twice. I don't know why he said children's stories twice.
He really wants children's stories.
But I do read children's stories to fucking children at my day job, and I kind of enjoy doing it. It's the best part of the job.
Our next Jack-Off Corner, are we reading children's stories?
Yeah, we might.
All right.
Without giving credit to the authors, like all the best creepypasta narrators.
Like all the best.
Normal stories for normal children. Oh, man. Yeah, I like reading stories to children, especially because they're children's books, and I can actually read them.
And the pictures are pretty.
And the pictures, they got pretty pictures.
You got pretty pictures.
We'll probably be streaming for about another 10 minutes or so. We might resume this story at another time, but I'm not sure we're going to be able to finish it in time. Though I am definitely interested in this story. The chimp sat there quietly, tore out its own eyes. The man looked into the camera. Based on these results, I recommend moving to phase 2 immediately. We need to move forward in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The video went black. What the fuck did you just show me? I said.
That's not even the half of it, Brian said. Pretty soon after I saw that video, I started talking with Lafarge. And that's when things got really weird.
The waiter stepped up to the table again. Brian waved him off. We still need a few minutes, he said. I'm sorry, sir, but there's a phone call for you.
Brian frowned. It must be Lafarge. I told him I was meeting with you. Wait here.
Oh, God. People calling me Daddy Dead Palette.
Oh, Daddy Dead Palette.
Oh, Christ. Go watch...
Touch me there.
What's it called? Oh, touch me here and touch me. I love that song. Go watch the video, give me all the cummies I miss before I join. God damn it, Abomination Chan. Go watch fucking like, comment, and subscribe by Alan on his Ignum Pergamentum channel, because he just released the 5th part of the Revolver trilogy, and he talks about hero worship in it. It's really good.
Does he talk about cummies?
Yeah, he talks about cummies a little bit, and daddies and senpais and stuff. Oh, that is the true terror realm. It must be Lafarge. Brian and the waiter stepped into the back of the restaurant, and I sat there rubbing my temples. I wasn't in the mood to listen to conspiracy fantasies, and it looked like I was getting a migraine. I decided I was going to excuse myself when he got back. Conspiracy games aren't fun when you have a splitting headache. I looked out the window at the protest. The wife?
Wayfish.
Wayfish. Does that mean like thin girl?
Yeah,
okay.
like waif-like, I guess.
Okay. The wayfish girl with blonde dreadlocks and a knit sweater was reciting slam poetry about the evils of greed. The ineffectiveness of it all would be comical if it wasn't so sad. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's so weird, because the character writing at the beginning of this just really wasn't doing it for me, but this is...
Now that we're kind of knee-deep in it.
Yeah, it kind of is working. I guess it's one of those things where often you hear that criticism of maybe you could cut out like the first 2 paragraphs.
Yeah.
No, this isn't an SCP. This is...
Operation Stingray.
Operation Stingray. There's another link to it right there. Operation Stingray. Where the fuck were we?
Splitting headache, waif girl.
Well, okay. The waiter walked by again and touched him on the arm. Listen, I'm afraid I'm not feeling well. I'll have to step out. Please tell my friend I'm sorry, and I'll get in touch with him later in the week. Not a problem, sir. Will your friend be arriving soon?
No, I mean oh, wait, no, that's your part.
Oh, yeah. No, sir. The friend who was just here, the one who you took back for the phone call. The waiter looked puzzled. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not sure what you mean. Okay, so we were... Oh, okay. So we were kind of joking about the waifu thing, but it really does seem that that's the direction the story is going, is if Brian wasn't really there, then perhaps that is the deal, is that the wife isn't real. I think that's the implication, because it's kind of, hey, I have a wife, by the way, or a girlfriend or whatever, and now it's gone. Like that, it seems like they're dropping that hint for that reason.
Yeah.
Because it seemed really out of place. What? Why? You've been here sitting alone since you arrived. I looked at him. Was this kid messing with me? That's not funny, I said. I stood up and walked to the back of the restaurant. Brian, I called. Hey, Brian, are you back there? I turned down the small hallway that held the phone and the restrooms. It was empty. I just checked the men's room. Nothing. Hiro Alato just said, the girlfriend just moved to Canada. Yeah, there you go.
The girlfriend was originally from Canada and invisible all along.
I love the slang of Canadian girlfriend. Just walk to the back.
Okay, cut it out, kid. Where's my friend?
Yeah. I walked to the back of the restaurant. Cut it out, kid. I said to the waiter, where's my friend? No, sir, I don't know what you're referring to. I felt his eyes on me, and I looked around. The rest of the wait staff were... waif staff were standing perfectly still, staring at me with a blank expression. The waiter stepped towards me. But there's a phone call for you, he said. Please follow me to the back. The waif staff advanced on me.
You want me to take over?
Yeah, you take over for a little bit.
A thunderous crash sounded as a brick smashed through the plate glass window at the front of the restaurant. I looked out the hole and saw that the peaceful little protest had turned savage. Protesters were smashing windows and cars and attacking passerbys. The poetry girl was standing in the middle of the street, staring into the restaurant with a crazed grin. We locked eyes for a moment before a police cruiser smashed into her, sending her flying in a cloud of red mist.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautifully done.
Beautiful. So I guess that's what we're getting, is that this political chaos is a result of this government conspiracy to control people's minds. And so I'm guessing the DOD in this case is fucking with everyone to gain political power, and just advancing to the logical conclusion of that, the military and the DOD is trying to take over the government by causing civil unrest. I think that'd be a pretty safe,
pretty interesting.
I think that's a safe conclusion for
Yep.
Oh.
Let's see here. The restaurant erupted into chaos. Diners attempted to flee, knocking the waitstaff aside. I grabbed Brian's manila envelope from the table and jumped out the open window.
Police officers flooded the scene. They fired tear gas and beat the protesters bloody with batons. But it was all wrong. They came too quickly, blowing their load everywhere, almost immediately as the protest had turned violent. As though they were waiting for it to happen. I sprinted home and bound up the stairs to my apartment. I flung the door open. Lindsay was slicing tomatoes in the kitchen, and she gasped when I burst into the room. I slammed the door behind me and locked it. This is bringing me back to the vitamin that they had us take. So what was the point of the vitamin exactly? Because...
hopefully we'll find out by the end, or else it was just...
Abomination Chan, DOD, dead palate obviously daddy.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah.
Jesus, honey, is everything okay? All right? Everything all right okay?
Everything all right okay? I don't know, but I just give people random...
You just want to give everybody southern accents.
I do. I don't know. We'll have to call the cops. Something happened to Brian.
What? What happened?
The government's turning him gay.
The government turned him into a stingray.
He just disappeared. He went to get a phone call. Then the waiters. My head was throbbing, and I collapsed onto the couch. Oh, headache is part of Operation Stingray.
Headache is part of Operation Vitamins. Lindsay ran to me. Honey, calm down. Just breathe. Everything's going to be fine, okay? Just breathe.
I sat up, and she stood behind the couch. Her hand on my back made me feel better, and I relaxed a little. You're right. I just need to think. I don't even know where to begin, I said.
I looked down at the manila envelope in my hand. I opened it and saw another, smaller envelope inside. I pulled it out and saw the words, "If anything happens to me," were written on the front. Just calm down, Lindsay said, rubbing my shoulders gently. Whatever it is, we're going to figure it out.
I touched her hand and looked at her in the reflection of the TV screen. Thank you, I said, smiling.
I looked back down at the envelope. I opened it and pulled out a stack of papers. On the top there was one with a single word written on it in a black marker. Run!
I looked up at Lindsay's reflection. She was raising the knife above her head, ready to plunge it into my back. All right.
Lindsay really wants to make human tomatoes.
So it looks like this might be part one of a multiple part story. The next part being entitled Love Hurts, and then and then Who is Lafarge? And yeah, it looks like this is a multiple part story. The truth will set you free. Part one, I'm pretty impressed with. I feel like if this is a multiple part story and this is being set up in the way that it is, that it will be at some point in another story explained what the point of the pill was. Yeah. Because I guessed before reading ahead that Lindsay was going to be there's something fucked up with Lindsay because she's just kind of out of place plot-wise. So they're putting her there for a reason.
Yes.
But if you're taking the pill and the pill counteracts the effects, then... Oh, no, I guess that doesn't make sense because it's perfectly fine. Because if he takes the pill that counteracts the brain Operation Stingray effects, right?
Right.
That doesn't counteract Lindsay having the Stingray effects put into her.
Right.
So they're getting to him through her. Okay. I do question how we got this story. I'd assume that whatever the name of our protagonist is did escape because, they're writing this.
Right.
Anyway, pretty cool story. Thank you for the suggestion. Who was it? Who suggested Operation Stingray?
Where are you?
Oh god, it's giving us the old comments as well. Operation Stingray. Oh, Rutger Williams. Thank you for suggesting that. Chelsea has to go to work.
Woot woot, money.
And I have already lost my voice because I recorded an assload of Dead Serious last night. Not Dead Serious. I did 2 Dead Serious, a fucking Undercooked Analysis, and a Raptor's Nest with Prasicor. Oh. So I talked for like 6 fucking hours straight.
Oh, wow. Your throat must really hurt.
Yeah, I'll be doing more impromptu streams like this. Not really at any given order or anything, but this definitely put Operation Stingray on my radar. Thank you. Fuck you and good night. Thank you, everyone who turned out.
And most importantly, thank you, Daddy.
Oh.
Daddy Dead Palette.